Welcome to the jungle. We are glad to have you back. And I am Emma, also known as at Nifty Meta Girl. And I have with me today my good friend Jaden. And Jaden has a new update for us today.
I do. I decided to change my name to Boss Mama 99. So that's what you can find me at now.
Well, this is a big development.
Yes.
And so what prompted this change?
Well, I had an epiphany at about 3 a.m. one morning whenever I was feeding the baby and changing his diapers, and I had to wash like 3 bottles. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a freaking boss, okay? I'm a boss mom, and that's what I'm going to go by now. I want everybody to refer to me as a boss mom.
Well, I think it's very fitting.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that is a good change for sure. Yes.
I agree.
And we also have Gabe with us today.
You still identifying as the same as last podcast, or?
Yep, still the same. Fast Nifties.
Nothing's changed, though?
Nope.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I was actually I think it was World of Women. I was on their Discord today, and I was, like, looking, and they have this thing that it's called Ladies Only Club, and I went onto it, and they're like, you know, I'm tired of being called bro, and I am a bro. And I'm like... It literally says ladies only club. What are you doing in here, dude? Like, get out.
It's like being in the girls' bathroom. What
I
are
know.
you doing?
I was like, and you just like totally told everyone that you were a dude.
Outed yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even want to be in this club anymore, and I left. I wasn't really doing much in there anyway, but.
Well, and that's the thing is they make these spaces where they're supposed to be so inclusive for women. And the goal is to make women stronger and help women feel comfortable in these spaces. And then the women themselves make all these rules about how you need to interact in these spaces, what you can call yourself, whether it's woman, whether it's female, whether it's girl. It's like, and by the end of it, they have divided us all into all these different segments, and you don't even know where to feel comfortable. And so for me, I'm like, it seems like we're wasting a lot of time and a lot of energy on this whole topic.
Well, and the other thing that drives me crazy is that they'll go in there and like, I personally, it doesn't bother me to be called any of those. And like, so I'll go in there and say it, and then you get attacked, and you're like, okay, I am one of those, so why are you attacking me? Like, I get it might bother you, but it doesn't bother me, and I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. You're supposed to be building each other up, and you're attacking me for calling myself a term that I'm okay with being called. Like,
exactly. Like, I don't understand this at all. And there was a Twitter comment yesterday that has really just kind of stuck with me all day. And it was about a leader of a female project that I'm actually really excited about. And she mentioned being in line at NFT NYC, and a guy coming up to her and asking, "Are you in the right space? Are you in the right spot? Are you okay?" And she automatically got very defensive and called him mediocre. And about being a dude in a mediocre dude in a sweatshirt. And it's just like, really? Like, that's how, like, you're going to use that opportunity to, like, call out somebody and be divisive against somebody instead of just going ahead and, like, just think if she would have used that opportunity to introduce herself and say, hey, I'm the leader of this really awesome woman and this woman group that is, coming up. I lead Women Rise NFT, and it's going to be an awesome thing. So yes, I'm excited to be here. And instead, she used the opportunity to like separate herself and then publicly talk about it, to the fact that there might be people that would have been really excited about her project and ready to like jump in, but creating that then kind of creates this opportunity where people are like, maybe that's not who I am. So like people's projects and the work that they're doing, there might be opportunities or times that they are dividing people out of it because of their personal opinions. And so it's an interesting idea. Do you need to separate your personal beliefs or your personal maybe insecurities from what you're trying to accomplish and looking at that big picture?
I agree. I mean, that was something I saw on a different person I followed. Like, she was saying that at NFT NYC, like, she kept being asked if she was the +1 or who she was there with or anything like that. And she's like, I'm really tired of it. But she used that space to say, like, hey, we can be here in this space too. We don't have to be men. Like, we are welcome here. We are thriving here. And you guys need to see that. And I think that really spoke volumes about who she is as not just a person, but as an influencer and things like that.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that we need to remember as we are coming into this space. I mean, for me, being in business for as long as I have been, and it's regular that it's assumed that I'm an assistant. I'm the wife of. I have to have a husband that's involved in the project because I'm just tagging along and the extra. And it's hard for people to understand, men and women, to actually go ahead and be confident that I stand alone and that I can make those things happen. But if you it depends on how you use that opportunity. If you react to it and are defensive to it, then you're actually giving them the power. But if you control that conversation and you use it as an opportunity to say, actually, let me tell you a little bit about me, you don't know where that's going to go, and for that person, they're like, wow, I assumed that wasn't the case, but it wasn't really about me. It wasn't anything about me that made them assume that, but now they've learned something and that sticks with them. And so if we're, as women, if we're coming into this space and we feel like there's a spot for us, maybe we need to step up and be the leaders to take that opportunity and say, well, I actually am in the right spot. I'm really excited about this event. I'm really excited about being here, and I'd like to give you the opportunity to learn about what I do. I mean, I just think that would be an awesome opportunity. So kudos to the girl that you were following.
Yes.
And it's just a learning experience for all of us, but it seems like there are great opportunities for women in this space, and I've actually found this to be a very inviting space, and definitely an opportunity where you are interacting with a lot of men, a lot of people, but this is also a space where your gender does not have to be specific. And so it's very interesting to make that such a divisive topic when this is one of those spaces where you can use whatever PFP you want to use. You can actually create whatever persona you want to. And so it's obviously, I'm excited to be a woman, and I'm very excited to be a girl. I don't mind being identified as a female, as a woman, as a girl, because that's who I am. But there are plenty of opportunities in this space to represent yourself however you would like.
Yep. And I think that's what's beautiful about this space.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So, Gabe, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, hearing you guys talk about it, it's interesting to see kind of this space transcend something bigger. Like, it shouldn't be about gender at all. And really, it's almost like heightened kind of like the way we view people in general, you know what I mean? So I wonder, kind of like, based off of your PFP, you don't know whether someone's a male or a female unless they come out and say so. So it doesn't matter really one way or the other, but the fact that anyone can thrive in this space is something that I think is pretty awesome. So.
And that's actually the viewpoint that I've been appreciative, that's the viewpoint I've heard from a lot of men in the space. And so I think that's important for us to, as women, to keep that top of mind, is I think a lot of times that is how men in the space are feeling. And they just it may not be intentional that they say something that a woman could take offense to. And so it might be a little bit on our part, too, that they may just be reacting and wanting us to be included. And why should we take that opportunity to jump down their throat or make it confrontational, and keeping in mind that it hopefully is best intent, they have the best intention at heart.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that they fit.
What's that?
Like that you got them out.
What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean?
Like, you just got a random bag and they just fit?
Well, ladies, this is definitely an example of when guys might have good intentions but say really dumb things.
Not like that. I'm just saying.
I'm
just asked her for pants fit.
How did you know that you're gonna get these random clothes and that it was gonna work? Is all I'm saying. Is it I'm not a thrifty person.
It's just like the NFT space, Gabe. You take a chance every now and then. I took a chance and it was rewarded.
Yeah, that's all I meant. It's just crazy that you just picked random clothes and just happened to work. You know what I mean?
I understand what you meant. I didn't take offense. I thought maybe it was more because I had a baby 6 weeks ago, so I thought you were just trying to say I look good, but
I wasn't saying anything like that at all. You're the one that made it bad. It made me look bad.
Oh, you made him look bad.
I'm starting to understand why the creator said what she said the other day a little bit more. I'm not going to say anything, Gabe, but I I know you're trying to be nice. I know you're trying to be
We
nice.
got to rise above it. We got to rise above it.
I know you're trying to be nice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to, it's based off of just, you can have knowledge no matter what gender you are, and you make decisions no matter what gender you are, so we can all be successful in this space no matter how you identify one way or the other. So why does it matter? To me, it just seems kind of stupid to think of it as, so surface level, basically, and that's a nice thing about this community is that it will, the MO will become, it doesn't matter, anyone can be successful doing this, so.
Very good. Very good. Well, I'm encouraged again to know that there's lots of people out there, men and women, that share that opinion. And that's going to be one of our missions too, is to provide ways to empower people regardless of what gender they are, how they identify, but giving them a chance to get out there and be appreciated and represented as they want to be.
And now it is ding, 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 wallet update time. So Emma, what have you bought?
Well, so in the last week, as everybody knows, gas has been horrific.
Yes.
That has definitely been one of the main topics in conversation, and it does definitely impact the whole NFT space. So, gosh, been watching, trying to find times where gas isn't quite as crazy and high, but man, it's been hard too. So that has impacted my purchasing this past week, but I've still gotten into a few projects that I'm really excited about. One is the Nodes by Scotty's Art, which is a really cool project. One of the things that's unique about it is he doesn't do a big drop all at once. He actually does announcements for small drops, and they're all priced starting at 0.15. And so, but they had very limited items available, so you've got to watch it, get in there quick, and to be able to scoop that up. And it's also one where he keeps his floor price very high, so it's a project that you can feel comfortable holding because they do appreciate over time so far. Not
Sweet.
Financial advice, but a cool little perk of the project. And an exciting little tidbit is he just announced today that he has a new collection or new part of his collection releasing this Sunday at 4 p.m. on OpenSea. So if that's something that sparks your interest, be sure to put that down and pay attention because they go quick.
Are you looking to grab another?
Yep, they're pretty cool. I did take a look at them this afternoon, and I have to say his artwork is really, really cool. So I will be watching. And another one that I picked up this week is Desperate Ape Wives. And this is one of the mints that was going on this week. And it's a project that has been definitely a very popular one. It's been getting a lot of attention. And it's one that it's actually the first project I've ever bought, and I've sold before it was revealed.
What made you do that?
That's a good question. There was definitely a lot of attention to it. I did mint my particular one, and part of it was that I only had one. Why I didn't mint more than, I don't know. I don't know. It was, again, gas is high this week. It was one I was watching. There's some other projects that are coming up in the near future that I know that I want to get into. So just kind of one that I wasn't 100% sure on, but it definitely had a lot of momentum behind it, a lot of excitement in the Discord. And it was also a project that the mint was going quickly. And with gas prices being what they were, that said a lot. And so I minted, and pretty soon after, that wasn't a normal situation where you start seeing them on the floor right around mint price or below mint price. So I went ahead and held and watched for about a day and a half, and the price increased pretty good, and then the floor was dropping. And so the floor was around 0.15, and I thought, before I went to bed one night, I was like, I'm just going to list it at 0.2, see what happens. And sure enough, it sold overnight. And whether that was a good decision or not, I really don't know, because now the floor they've done really well. They've stayed high. Floor is 0.588 currently today at the time of filming. So good for you guys. That is pretty exciting. But a good thing about selling it for what I did, I was able to actually go ahead and sell that particular NFT, and I actually bought into another project that I've been watching and really excited about. I was actually able to purchase a Beauties.
Oh,
And so she's a really beautiful, bright pink girl with a cool hat on and everything. And so for me, that was a project that I like long term a lot. So when I've been following, I minted one at that mint. So I have one already, but I added to my collection. So with purchasing into Desperate Ape Wives, I was able to sell that particular one and pick up a pretty great Boss Beauties as well.
No joke.
So didn't work out too bad there whatsoever. And another project that I bought into this week, which is one I've been watching, we talked about it last time, but is Women in Weapons.
It's good to have you in the community.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And yes, I've been watching this project, and I think probably like a lot of people that got excited about minting early on, or might have a little bit of maybe it's less of FOMO, maybe it's a little more wisdom. I'm not sure, but I had been watching the project to see how it did. Part of that reason was it was a project that was encouraged by a big influencer in the space, and so for me, that was one I wanted to see kind of how the floor price held up and how the team performed, because it was a project that came together in about a month, and just a few of those details. But I have to say, I've been super impressed with the artist and with the team. They've done a great job. They've already donated $100,000 to a women-supported charity, and they also have gotten the community wallet set up to where they're buying other one-of-one artists' work, which all of that is great, and it's awesome to see a group that is fulfilling that roadmap and stepping up and doing what they need to be doing. So, and I was able to pick this one up actually below mint price, which is pretty exciting. So I'm definitely happy to be part of the community and part of the project.
Well, we're glad to have you. And they're buying very beautiful artwork, some one-on-one pieces that are beautiful, if you guys haven't seen them already.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so that kind of wraps up what I've been purchasing this week. Have you made any purchases this week or watching anything?
I have not made any purchases yet. I did actually get a few airdropped to me, which was pretty exciting. One of them being a feel good, which I've been watching. I know. It was exciting. I woke up to it. I was like, wow, this is really cool. It was airdropped by a person on Twitter I followed that likes to support active followers. So I was like, this is exciting, okay?
Yay, that paid off.
Yeah, to make it even better, it was a feel good, which I'd been watching for a little while, and Emma's a part of, and we had talked about it a few times, and I think it's a really cool project. So that was really exciting for me because I've been wanting to get into it, but I've also kind of just been waiting because there are some that I've been watching and I'm interested in, one of them being the Pangaens, which I talked about last week. I've looked a little more into it. And I'm thinking, hopefully, I'm trying to get on the whitelist right now. They're also having a giveaway, which is a really cool one. Like, I like the ones that aren't just, there's nothing against these. I love any kind of giveaways. But they are doing these ones that are for the community. And you write like so the Pangaens is a 3-part collection. There's going to be 3 different collections. And they all can have a story. And they share the story, which is really cool to me. And also it's a women-led team, which we talked about, which is really cool. But the giveaway they're doing is you are writing a story. Like, you write a story, whether it's you want to be a Pangaean, you talk about living during that time or anything like that. And then the community votes on their favorite story. And that person actually is winning a free NFT, Pangaean NFT when they mint, which I think is super duper cool.
That's awesome. That's some great community involvement. And yeah, that is fantastic.
I'm excited. I've been brainstorming all day. Next thing you guys know, I'm going to be also a lore writer. So that's pretty cool.
Well, we'll be looking for that for sure. You'll have to share it with us.
Hey, don't tempt me.
And that is a project too. It's been nice to see that they seem to be very active in like the long-term goal. So it's encouraging to see a project that doesn't seem to just be planning to mint, but they're actually planning for the project to be a success and for it to be a long-term project. So I love seeing that with the team. So
well, and it's great because they are doing a lot of things to make the community want to stay involved. So like if you buy the first one, you get a free the next one, and then it also gives you access into the third one. And that's just really cool to me, just how they are taking it in sequences, but also make you want to stay involved as a part of the community.
Very good. Very good. Well, and I forgot, as you mentioned gift giving, I don't know why this triggered it, but I also minted another project this week, which had a really strong message behind it. It's called Diadragons.
Okay.
And it's a women-led project, but it is one of the projects that, one of the first ones I've found that has such a strong in real life utility. It's a project that is these cute little dragons, but the whole mission is to be able to provide insulin and diabetic supplies to people. And so when that is their whole mission is they're minting this project, all of the funds, a majority of the funds that they are raising, and the whole point of the NFT project is to provide insulin, which they call life juice in their story with their dragons, but to provide that to people in need. And so as people are selected and as this project develops, those folks that are receiving this life juice will actually be receiving insulin and supplies needed for 365 days.
Wow.
So a full year of supplies.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's life-changing for
it
some people,
is.
honestly.
It is. And it's so cool to see a project, to use NFTs in such a way of connecting and being able to provide, a life-altering, a life-altering change for people. And to be able to see charities linked together in such a strong sense, to really understand the power of NFTs and to be able to use those to empower a community to change lives is just pretty awesome. So that is one to definitely check out.
Crazy cool.
And that's one too I thought about for gift giving. That is the season upon us. And how easy is gift giving going to be if we can just send NFTs to our loved ones' wallets, huh?
No joke. Especially whenever they're good as that. You're not only giving a gift to that person, you're giving a gift to another person. And like you said, 'tis the season.
And those are the kinds of projects too that could really connect with people that don't totally get NFTs yet. So I know my mom is the same. She's one that I thought about with this. It's a connection that she could really make with NFTs and with a mission that she could be very passionate about, and to really make the connections and see how all of it works together, and see the potential and why NFTs are going to be changing the world.
Yeah, no joke. Especially whenever, that just provides such an easy segue to help tell people about it, but also for them really just to see it's not just a piece of art. It's more than a piece of art.
Exactly. And we're going to be seeing that more and more for sure.
Yep.
All right, guys. So in our last episode, we talked a lot about women-led initiatives, women-led projects. And so we thought we'd give you a little update on what's happened with these since we first talked. So one of the exciting developments is I kind of hinted around at this in our last episode, but a project called Crypto Chicks, which a lot of you are probably really familiar with, they've had an exciting change this week that they've announced. This was a project that the art is beautiful. It's very, I think that confident women connect really well with the artwork. But the problem for me was the leadership. It was a project that was showing that they were being led by this young Russian artist. However, when you actually interacted with the team, it became very apparent that it was a very dominant, ego-driven man that was actually the person behind it. And I can say that since he actually called me out publicly on Twitter. I did not reach out to him. He actually found me and kind of berated me and publicly on Twitter, just by letting another female collector know that there might be a little bit more behind the project than what meets the eye. But the big announcement for them this week is that that person is no longer involved. And so it'll be interesting to see if they can pick up and move forward. From following their Discord and social media channels, I know that I definitely wasn't the only one that was turned off by this. In fact, one of our partners in this whole project was another one that noticed it straight off the bat, and that it just wasn't something that made a lot of sense with the project, and the inconsistencies were alarming. And I feel bad for the people behind the project if they were not aware or not able to control the situation, because I do think it's had a huge impact on the success of that particular project. So be watching Crypto Chicks. We'll see how this develops for them. We also talked a lot about World of Women last week. And this is a project that, out of female-led projects or woman-led projects, is one that is viewed as a blue chip project. So one of the more collectible and potentially long-term success type of projects.
That was my question, is what is a blue chip? That makes sense.
You will hear that talked about in the NFT space quite a bit, with our projects that people view as being ones that will have long-term success. So kind of the cream of the crop. Ooh. And for World of Women, they have definitely made that their place in the space for being considered a blue chip project.
And aren't they a fairly new project? Like they just minted a couple months ago, or
they did mint in July. And so they are fairly new, but also they are one of the more original that were specifically a woman-led project. So they do have a woman artist, and they are a project that celebrates this women in general. So the beauty of women, and also definitely one that has stood up to being a voice for women of all types. So
awesome.
You'll notice in their collection of 10,000 that there's all different skin types. There's also blue women, and my nifty meta girl is actually one of the crypto colored ones. So a lot of fun stuff there. But it's a great community to be involved in. I was excited this week to get an announcement that they actually are making our artwork available to us in different downloadable files, so very high-res files. And also they have connected with a firm that will matte and frame your piece, and you can purchase it and have it actually, so you can have it in your space wherever you choose to. So
that's awesome.
A way to kind of take your persona or your online piece and make it into a physical representation. So I know a lot of girls have been doing that, and so that was a nice development. They also are very active in supporting other female artists in the space, and so they have a fund and a community that helps find those artists that they're going to highlight. So they've announced their November artists. You can check it out on their Twitter and their Discord and learn more about that process. But definitely an exciting way of supporting that community and making sure that the spotlight is shown on up and coming artists.
That's one thing I've really loved about the community, and I just see it more in the women-led projects, I guess, but how supportive they are of other projects as well. Like
Definitely.
Anytime somebody's like, hey, I'm looking for a good project, they don't just plug theirs, they plug 6 other projects that are women-led that are just it's really great. It's really helping build up the community and make them aware of more great projects.
Absolutely. We are looking out for each other for sure. And another project that we talked about last week that I have definitely found that to be true with is the Sad Girls Bar. They're a group that are very active. I feel like a lot of people within the community are artists themselves, but just really seem to be as a whole, a community that's really down to earth and very supportive, willing to step out there and have some fun with the NFT space. A lot of a lot of them have paired different pieces with their particular sad girl. They did a full contest for the month of October that was cosplay related.
That's
and
cool.
They announced their winner today, so check it out on Twitter. But also throughout this month, something that is also added value to the community is they offered the Skeletongues, which the Skellies, the boyfriend for your sad girl, and which has been really fun. The artwork for the Skellies is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And glam. She did a beautiful job, one with the sad girls, but also with the Skellies. The way that she mixed their characteristics to the girls that they associate with I was just blown away with how successful she was with that. And so that's been a fun one to get into. You can still, I think there's still time if you purchase a sad girl. If she does not already have a Skelly minted, you can still mint one for free just with the charge of gas.
That's awesome. So they do like correlate, there's correlations.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how she did it because there are so many there's actually 10,000 sad girls. So how she connected that, I'm not exactly sure, but it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, no joke. So I'm curious to see if she's able to connect that with sad babies, with skeleton babies and their sad girls.
I actually think the next is going to be sad cats.
Good place to start. Good place to start.
And so in their roadmap, that is going to be the next rendition. With Holding Your Sad Girl, you also have the opportunity to mint the Skellies, their boyfriend, and then next is the Sad Cats.
Oh.
So be excited to see that collection come down the pike.
I can just picture them now, little skeleton cats. I love it.
Well, and with this particular NFT project, they also announced recently that they have merch available for purchase. And so you can go ahead and purchase merchandise, shirts, and collectibles, coffee mugs that have the Sad Girls logo and a few particular pieces selected. But they also, it's one of the only projects I've seen so far that you can actually take your particular piece and make merchandise with it. So coffee mugs and t-shirts of your actual Sad Girl.
That's awesome. It just seems, one thing that I've looked into the Sad Girls is I've not got one yet, but they just seem like such a relatable community. I hate myself.
Behind the scenes.
I drank a whole glass of wine last night while feeding my baby.
A whole glass or a whole bottle?
I don't want to talk about it.
Absolutely. That's been a community I've enjoyed hanging out with. It's also really cool on Twitter. They do a lot of following each other. So definitely a female-led project that does definitely connect ladies, and they actually do really stay in touch with one another. So a strong community for sure.
That's awesome.
Another one that has been very active in the last few weeks that I've been impressed with from the beginning, we talked about last time, is Outlaw Gals. This is the motorcycle club.
Your badass alter ego. Not
That's
saying that
right.
you're not badass, but
Yes, and they, again, the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. Swamp Maiden is the artist behind the project. She's very active in the Discord on a regular basis. And I've been impressed this past week, over the weekend, they played all kinds of games and had prizes for participation.
that's fun.
And it was just, I was amazed that there's people from all over the world involved in the community, but they were all coming together and competing against one another in really just fun, active games.
That's great. That's fun.
And they also fulfilled another piece of their roadmap, which was really cool. From the beginning, they had told, from Mint, they had announced that as holding a Outlaw Gal, that was your ticket to be entered into a drawing to win a real-life Harley Davidson.
Wow.
And
Special
so-
edition or just?
It is. They are making some modifications aesthetically to the motorcycle to make it a special edition. So adding some graphics and stuff to customize it. But I actually heard an interview with the team, and it was asked to them that if someone wins the motorcycle, but they may not drive, or it may be complicated to get the motorcycle to them, if they have the option to get ETH instead of the motorcycle. And I was really surprised. The team said, well, we actually are very OCD about this part of the project. And they said, if at all possible, we plan to actually transport the motorcycle ourselves and personally deliver it to the winner.
That's awesome. So is the creators like actual, like they ride motorcycle like in a motorcycle gang or just kind of?
Yep.
That's awesome.
And so they were really passionate about that part of the project and getting to meet one of their holders and to actually do that in person. So I was really impressed with that. With just every time I have the opportunity to hear them interact, I'm really impressed with what they have to say. So
that's awesome.
very, very active, and one that is still affordable to get into. So if you're looking for that kind of a project as a woman-led project, active community, and also that focuses on having fun and actually interacting with each other, it's a great project to look into.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it. I like anything like that. That really just channels your inner badass. That's me to a T. That's all I'm saying.
And we also talked last time about Fame Ladies Squad, one of the OG female-led projects in the space. And as we talked about last week, they tagged themselves as the best story in NFTs with their beginning and their start. And those girls definitely get out there and are present in the NFT space. So I've been really impressed with how much they are active and are pushing to expand and really find their niche But they also announced this week that in the original project, the Fame Ladies received crowns as an additional mint or an airdrop. And there had been some question as to how much that really made sense with the artwork and everything with the original girls. So they've actually partnered. They had an artist come approach them and ask if they could actually do wings. And so they're now doing the graphics and designing these wings that you'll be able to, I'm not sure if it yet will be something that's airdrops to all the holders or will be a mintable piece, but it's an accessory for your Fame Lady.
So you can actually put that on your Fame Lady, right?
That's my understanding, yes.
So if you don't mind me asking about that process a little bit more, I know you mentioned last week, I believe, with I'm sorry, which one was it that did the Halloween people?
Actually, several were very active with Halloween. So Fame Ladies, they actually had a really fun kind of added value on their Discord that you could go in and verify. You actually entered a command and it generated your girl with a different background.
That's what I meant. Yes, because I was going to be like, how do they put that stuff onto the pictures already made? That's what I was asking about.
I understand with the wings that they will be an accompanying piece, and there may be additional utility with so whether you hold the lady and the wings. But those details I don't think they've been announced exactly how that's going to work. But they've done several things along the way. Originally, there was some artwork involved with the girls that they had a skeleton hand that was believed to maybe be tied to some white supremacy. So they actually have changed that. And so if you have a Fame Lady that has that particular tattoo, you can actually go through a process to have it changed to a phoenix, which has been one of the symbols for them with rising from everything that went on. So that's an option that they've offered. But also, this was the first time I have seen this with a PFP project where you could actually go in and without there being any cost, any mint costs, have a really fun way of modifying your girl, which worked fantastic because they were all over Twitter. They created a ton of content and great advertising and a way just to kind of interact with that community and make something from what you've already got. So
that's awesome.
They did a great job with that. And another exciting one, we talked about Nyla last week and the long neck ladies. This was one of my OG projects that I've been involved with from the beginning. And again, Nyla's a 12-year-old artist. She's been making strides in the NFT space as an individual artist herself, but with their Discord and their mission, it's also to bring awareness for children in the blockchain. So using their platform to help create opportunities for young artists on the up and coming. And a super fun thing for them this week or exciting development is Reese Witherspoon actually tweeted out and endorsed Nyla, which has been her first big move, but saying this is a great project to be involved in. So that was really exciting.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see someone so young have these opportunities to be able to move forward.
Can you imagine having this much ambition and this much drive at 12 years old and then all these things? I mean, it pays off. It just shows you it pays off. That's amazing.
Yep, absolutely. So it'll be fun to see where that develops and how that unfolds. But I'd say big things are to come. And so if you don't have a long neck lady yet, it might be time to look into that. I don't know. And with a project that we've also talked about last week, which was Boss Beauties. This is a project that is tied a lot to the traditional financial system. They do a lot with the New York Stock Exchange and different. It also is based off of a project that was pre-existing called My Social Canvas. But their mission is to help women by providing internships and helping them have that experience as they're young to be able to have experience in the financial system or the professional working environment to be able to make connections, but have that foundation to move forward. And so for them, they've been very active this week with NFT NYC. They had Hello Sunshine, which is Reese Witherspoon's her production company, actually come and meet with them at New York Stock Exchange. So that was a really cool move. They were really proactive in inviting Reese to be involved. And in addition to having Reese and her team there, they also invited a group of young college girls to be present and get to be involved in that interaction as well. So
that's something I thought has been really cool this whole time, is how involved all of these dev teams are still being, even though they're all involved in NFT NYC, which is such a big event. There's so many different events, and they still take time to tell their communities what's happening. And I think that's so cool that they still make time for their communities. It just shows how much they care.
Yes, it's nice to see the passion behind the project, for sure. For sure. And a project we didn't talk about last week, but was one that I've been watching and planned to actually buy into over the weekend, but gas was just crazy and I never found the opportunity, but it's called Fatales. And so their artwork is a little bit different. It's a little more vintage, but kind of it's more of a kind of secret agent type look to their artwork.
Okay.
And they began minting at 0.03. You can still find several pieces close to that price. There's been some opportunities recently to buy in even at some good rare ones at that price. A cool development for them is they actually have announced that similar to maybe some other projects, they also are going to have the option to have a male companion that you can mint for free plus gas. And these are going to be the secret agent men.
That's fun.
So kind of a throwback to a vintage James Bond look. So a little bit unique. There also is mentioned this week, Punk 2476 is involved in the project as well as far as a influencer. Okay. I don't know that she's actually involved in the project herself, but she's very active in talking about it. And she made mention this week that there may be a video game or a gaming platform of some sort coming as well.
Well, that's exciting. So I could see that being a good NFT to have, a nice gaming platform.
Yep, absolutely. So something exciting along the way. And the other one I wanted to follow up on as one that has actually already been minted would be the Women and Weapons.
Yes.
And so I know that was your first one that you actually purchased. So what has your experience been so far?
Oh my gosh, it's been so good. So as it being the first one I purchased, like I said, I took a lot of time to really find a project that I liked and I felt comfortable in. And that's something that it's been amazing. Like the dev team has been very fast, very on top of it. They're following their roadmap, which is really great. Like pretty much before they actually had sometimes whenever you mint, you have a few days before they're made available, like your picture's made available.
They're revealed.
Yes, revealed. Thank you. And before they were even revealed, after they knew that they had sold out, they had already airdropped the 5 to the random holders. They had airdropped the 1-on-1. So then they all revealed at the same time. So that was really cool because that was the first parts of their roadmap. I saw Sarah quit her job, which was the first part. Huh? Yes. And then
which is the artist behind the artwork.
Yes. And her husband has been totally supportive of it all. I put on their Discord the other day, he's like, I got official word that she put in her 2 weeks and I'm crying. I'll update you on her later. And I'm like, okay, that's cute. Okay. I don't care who you are. That's cute. But, and then they saw that they just started, or as we talked about earlier, they started their fund for collecting other projects to help support new artists, which is really cool.
I was impressed that fund that they have created is actually $100,000.
Yes.
To be able to collect into a community fund, one original artist. So good for them. A lot of that seems like a good amount of money compared to maybe some other projects that have that mission.
Yes.
Another thing that I had seen pretty soon after their mint was their announcement that they made their $100,000 donation to the Mela Fund. So it's great to see them fulfilling their missions and actually stepping up there and making sure that they're being upfront with the community and doing what they had set out to do. So those were all things that I had kind of been watching with the project, and the reason that I actually purchased my first Women of Weapons recently. So I'd been watching Rarity Tools.
She's a beauty, by the way.
Thank you very much. I was happy with it. The artwork is definitely one I like that edginess to connect with. There was definitely the right time to buy in. So I'm happy to be a part of the family and supporting the cause.
And what I think is really cool about her is she started by doing like one-on-one collections instead. And then she actually used this to create her more or the generated collections. So they kind of they go off. And I actually just saw the other day that her inspiration behind the powerful women and stuff was that her mom had breast cancer and it was a single mom. So she was wanting to support that and really just show how powerful her mom was. And I thought that was really cool too.
That's fantastic. A mission everybody can get behind.
Yep.
Well, so those are the projects that we've talked about before that have already minted, that are already out there. Are there any that you are excited about or following that are going to be minting soon?
Yes. So the Pangaens, like I spoke about last week, I think is so cool. I actually looked more into it. I really like it. I love a good story. I love good artwork, and that's something that's really cool. Is it's
the
not just
is beautiful.
It really is, and it's not just an NFT. It's a story too. And they're having 3 different collections. The first one's minting on November 13th, and after it mints in 2022, they're planning on minting the other 2. But by being a holder of the first one, you actually get free minting on the second, and then so on. But it's really cool because it has a story, and then not just that, like they are donating I have to pull my cheat sheet real fast. So not only that, after they hit their mark, that $50,000 is actually going to social causes helping women in education and healthcare.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, so
very
not
good.
only is it just really cool artwork, really cool stories, they actually have a good cause at the end too, which I like. And I like the community behind it, and I like how they are they're giving their community reasons to want to stay.
Okay. Yes.
Which I think is great. And then another one I actually just found today is called 1989 Sisters.
Okay. I haven't heard of this one.
Okay, so I was intrigued by the artwork. I really like the artwork. It kind of reminds me of the long neck ladies, but they have much more exaggerated features. Like their eyes are really big, and I just was very interested. I'm like, okay, that's actually really cool. And then I dug up a little bit more, and the artist is she's a fashion designer, which when I was little, that's what I wanted to be. So I just always think that area of work is so cool. I love clothes. So it was just really cool to me. And she had done it, like her artwork has been in Vogue and everything. So then she was like, she hand drew all the different components of this collection and then scanned them in and then used a program to create 1,989 different pieces.
Okay.
And then whenever asked why that number, it was because she has a twin sister and they were born in 1989. So that's why the name and everything. And they're not just using this project to support blood sisters, or using it to support all sisters. So I thought that was really cool.
A good message for sure.
Yep.
Do you know anything about their mint date yet?
I believe they're looking to mint November 8th, actually, here shortly.
November
and it's
8th,
going to be 0.12 ETH to mint.
0.12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
That is one to watch.
And then are there any that you're watching?
Well, actually there are. I've been watching, we talked last week about Women Rise, which is an NFT project that is supporting women of all different interests, but scientists, coders, and really trying to represent women of all colors. The artist actually had a book that was released last week called 100, called Rise, and it's 100 stories of women of color. And then they've been very, very involved and active as they are moving forward towards their mint date. And they are planning to mint 10,000 pieces at 0.07, but I don't know the date of their mint yet. I know with several projects, they're kind of waiting on gas prices to see when that is going to make a lot of sense. Another one in that realm that I've been watching a lot is Brava. It's got a great message behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, their mission is to end violence against women. So definitely a project to get behind. They have a very active Discord. An interesting utility that they've already been offering to the public is a daily meditation to be able to connect, and an interesting way to build their community. But it's available on Twitter Spaces every day. It's at 12 Eastern time. So if anybody is able to check in with Brava NFT at that time, it is a great time to just kind of meet the community and also have a chance to take a moment for yourself. But they have an unannounced mint date. It's scheduled for sometime during November, but again, they are taking some steps to reevaluate their original mint plan and mint date based on the current gas situation. So I can appreciate a team that has a plan, but also can step back and reevaluate depending on what the current climate is to be able to make the best plan possible for a successful project. So that's something that is going to be on my list to watch.
Yeah, it definitely shows that they are still very active with their community, thinking about them and putting them first and not just thinking like money, you know?
Yes, exactly.
So we've just talked about some great women-led NFTs. And I know last week you were talking about a project you're leading. How's that going?
Things are going awesome, actually. Thank you for asking. MetaJungle is taking on a whole life of its own, and I am so excited about the progress.
That is exciting.
Earlier today, I met with our programmers, and they are knocking it out. Things are making a lot of progress with the software and the platform itself. And so happy with how that's moving along. Excited to be able to share more about that as it comes along. And then, of course, we also have our Discord server, which people have been coming on and getting involved. So we're so excited about that. And so all kinds of fun things happening in that space.
So if someone were to ask you why your Discord server, what kind of answer would you give them?
What is my Discord server?
Or like why? Why should we go to that one?
Okay, that's a great answer, or a great question. So it's a space that is actually set up to where people can come, and it's a community where they can actually be themselves, so they can be a part of different projects and learn about those projects, and they're not actually being on guard with there being dev teams or moderators for a particular project watching them and changing what they may say or how they may feel about the project. So it's just real information and not the pump and dump, not the hype that you may feel like you're interacting with in specific Discords for that particular project, but a space that you can come in, because our whole goal is to provide a space where people feel comfortable, and our goal is to be able to remove the power from the bad actors in the communities and be able to keep that power with the community.
It's always nice whenever you have a community where you can kind of feel like you're comfortable and can say whatever the hell you want and still get good answers and have a great community and great involvement, which it seems like that's what you guys are creating.
Well, there's some questions that are just important to be asked, and it's great for a community and for people involved in a project to be asking. But from my personal experience, I know that being involved in some of the other Discord channels, if it's specific to that project, the message can be crafted, answers can go unanswered, and you can even at times be kicked out of servers. And so to actually be an active member of the community, there are things that you have to deal with at times that you need a space to be able to do that and be able to have the community keep the power.
And you're not doing this for any kind of income or any source of profit.
The Discord channel is totally there's no profit involved in it whatsoever. And so you may have noticed lately there's some Discords that do require a membership or an NFT purchase to be able to participate. That might be what you're referring to.
Yep.
But that is definitely not something that is part of the MetaJungle platform. Again, our whole goal is to create a community where people can come and enjoy their time there, learn, and be able to keep the power balance on the community side. So we are not profiting off of this space, this opportunity at all. But we just want people to be able to come and be able to have the resources that they need.
How exciting. And do you have anything for maybe early members to kind of get them more excited about coming or excited about being a part of it?
Well, there's always a great reason to join. Today's the day for everybody, but we also are doing different special things, of course. There's always those incentives, but different giveaways happening regularly, great information becoming available all the time. And again, we will be building that community, so rewards for those that come in early.
Perfect. Well, who doesn't love a good community and maybe a good free NFT every now and then?
Absolutely. But we will be sharing those updates as we go along. So we are happy that you guys are along for the ride with us.
And for our new members that might not know, you have to have an invite to get to Discord channels. So is there a certain place that they should go to join?
Well, since you're watching this video, you can definitely go below in the comments here or in the description of this video. There's a link to our Discord channel, but also come find me on Twitter at Nifty MetaGirl, and there is a link in my bio. And I would love to have you come and join us in MetaJungle. There's a jungle out there, so please let us help you stay safe in this space.
I've never felt safer, and I've been there for a week. That's all I'm saying.
But like, share, subscribe this video, please. We want to see you each week. We will be bringing you regular content. So like, share, and subscribe with this video. Find that link in our description below, and come and find me on Twitter. And I would also love to have your follow.
Yeah, follow me too, guys.
And what should they look for?
Well, this week it's going to be Boss Mom 99. No promises for next week if I keep getting free NFTs.
That's a reason to tune in next week, just to find where we can find Jaden.
Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next week too.
Yeah, bye, Gabe.
Sounds
Sorry.
good. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.